Hello everyone and welcome back to Bitwig Studio and Music Production. This is lesson 5.26 and in this video we're going to talk about the Oscillator Retrig button here. So I'm not sure why they've put this below the oscillator sync. It really doesn't have any relationship to the sync, but what it does have a relationship to is our voicing and our unison detune. Now if we have just one voice, the Retrig isn't really going to do anything. We're definitely not going to hear it, and I'll explain that to you now. So if I turn this on and I play a couple notes, and if I turn it off and play a couple notes, I don't really hear a difference. Now when I start to add in voices, let's just add 3 for right now, turn unison detune off, take a quick listen to each time I trigger this where the source sounds like it's coming from. And let me add a tool device here as well, so you can watch. So you see when we start to add these different voices and when they're slightly out of phase with one another, again, this is analog, so it's not perfect when we add these voices on top of each other. You can see that we're getting these different phase relationships, and those different phase relationships are causing the signal to sound like it's coming from different places in the stereo field, in the stereo image. If I turn Retrig on, what that's going to do is it's going to force that oscillator start cycle to be exactly the same, meaning we're not going to hear that variation. Here we go. So you can hear that it's forcing it straight down the center, as opposed to. Now when this really gets interesting is when we start to also use the unison spread. Okay, so let's crank this right on up here to like 12. And now let's start to use the unison spread. Now let's hear what happens. So you can hear on that initial trigger, we're getting that source to be mono. It's locking everything into phase. It's putting all of their starts exactly the same. It's putting everything starting right here. But as I hold down that note, that unison spread is going to start to play its role, and you'll start to see our signal widening out. We can hear that attack phase at the start every single time being the same, as opposed to having this off, and instead we could be starting anywhere along this cycle. So just remember, with just one voice, not going to make a difference, but as we start to increase our number of voices, this can be a very important button to click depending on what you're going for and what sound you're looking to achieve. So there will be times when you might want this on and you prefer the sound of it. Other times you won't. It's completely up to you. So have fun messing around with that, see what you can come up with, and you'll hear from me again in the next lesson. Take care.